Hello YouTubers! Pure Dragonite here with a video on one of my favorite openings to play as white, the Scotch game. Now, before I begin, yes, this is my first video, so comment and tell me what you think. Don't forget to subscribe if you like it, because there will be more. Now, a little background information on the Scotch. It's an aggressive, open game, in which white tries to get immediate center control. It originated in the 1770s, and since then, there have been 4,502 titled games in which the Scotch game was played. Of those, white won 35.3% of the time, black won 30.6% of the time, and they drew 34.2% of the time. The Scotch game hit its peak of popularity in the 1870s, and since then, the number of times the Scotch game was played in tournaments has declined a bit and then stabilized. So, let's take a little look at it, shall we? It starts with e4, common opening for white to play, opens up the queen and the bishop, and black responds with e5, a distant cousin of the slightly more used c5, which leads into Sicilian. White will play knight f3, and black will play knight c6. And then the defining move of the Scotch game is d4. Now, black has a couple options here, but the most widely played is takes d4 with the pawn. And now I'm going to go into the most main of all main lines in the Scotch, and I'm going to take back. And here, taking back with black is a mistake, because once White's queen takes back the knight, white has total center control, and it's hard to force the queen out of its position without completely disrupting your pawn structure. Also, this knight is kind of hard pressed to develop, because then you can create some sort of pins and try to take the knight. So, instead of that, what most people do is... Hold on a second, I need to set up this position. After takes, they'll usually play bishop here. Now, the best counter is bishop to e3. Here, if black doesn't watch out, next turn, white can take the knight here and win a piece, because white is simultaneously attacking the queen and the bishop, and you can only save either one of them. So, that's usually a bad idea, to leave that unattended. So usually black will play here, queen to f6. And then here, I usually like to play c3. And this is a typical Scotch opening, Scotch game. From here, it's anybody's game. So, there are many versions of the Scotch game that people can play. In fact, this was just the main opening. I want to show you another one, which I find quite interesting. It's an even more aggressive version of the Scotch. It involves a sort of half gambit, but you'll get your pawn back if black knows how to defend. So we go e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, d4, takes d4, and here instead of taking back, you go bishop c4. Now this implies a couple of things. Number one, that pawn is still takeable, because you have two pieces trained on it, and black is very hard pressed to defend it. He could probably move his queen here or something, but it's a bit too early to develop the queen. So, you're always welcome to take that pawn back. Number two, since you have the bishop developed here, black might feel like you're going for this, going knight here, and trying to take this pawn. However, usually, whatever black plays, let's say he plays here and tries to develop the bishop. Then the next move is this, c3. Now this is where it gets interesting, because if black takes c3, then you can go queen here. And black has a problem, because of course you're threatening checkmate, and black can stop that. But black has to play pretty perfectly in order to prevent something from being taken of his. For example, to prevent the checkmate, he can do a couple of moves. This seems like a terrible move, because then you can just go bishop here, takes it, and then you basically lost a piece, because if you take back, it's checkmate. Maybe black could move queen here, But then you start getting into then the knight goes here, and then you have 3 pieces trained on that one crucial pawn. So black is hard pressed to defend. However, this isn't without its downsides. Black's pawn is over here, and then if you start moving the bishop over here and stuff, in order to capture pieces that black moves out, black can go here and take this and threaten the queen, which is nearly unstoppable. So both sides have very aggressive play, and if either side makes one blunder, then it usually costs the game for them. That's why I find this so interesting. So anyway, that's a bit on the Scotch game. Just a quick overview. That's all for today. So please comment and tell me what you think. And of course, subscribe if you liked it, because there will be more videos. Thank you for watching.